Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and I am a drone pilot, but today I'm flying an RC helicopter. This is an awesome RC helicopter, probably one of the best on the market for beginners as well as pros. Now for people that watch my channel all the time, I have flown different versions of this helicopter over the past year or two or three. So each iteration of this helicopter gets better and better and better. And now you ask, what helicopter is this? Well, you can check out the box. So this is the Flywing Huey UH-1 version 3. The previous version of this helicopter required that you assemble it, put the motor in, put the body together, put the GPS in place, attach all sorts of things, and a lot of people found that very convoluted, especially because you had to do a GPS compass calibration. Well, on this one, there's none of that. It's ready to go out of the box, and you don't even have to do a compass calibration, it just flies. And you can fly this in GPS mode or manual mode. In this video, I am going to fly it in GPS mode because I do not have the skills to fly it in manual mode, but in part 2, there's another video coming out tomorrow or the next day. Part 2, you will see this thing flown in manual mode. So enough talking, I'm going to take the Huey out of the box and assemble it. And when I say assemble it, that means, well, I'm going to put a battery in it and attach the blades, the 2 blades. They even give you a tool for that. And then go fly it. We'll get the GPS in seconds and we're off and flying. Here we go. I'll just show you here. That's how it's packed. It's packed really well. So you can take this box to the field with you because it acts as a carry case. The Huey does come complete with 2 very powerful brushless motors, one in the tail and one in the center control section. Just gonna put a little yellow landing helicopter pad underneath. All right, so it's pretty much all set to go out of the box. All I have to do is attach the 2 blades and put a battery in it, and blink, there's a transmitter, a radio that comes with it, a really nice one that you can use for other things in the RC hobby, but then we're all set to go. This is the radio you get with it, and they've already labeled the switches, so everything is pretty much self-explanatory. You'll notice as well the left joystick. Normally on a helicopter, this would stay to the bottom, but they've made this like a DJI Mavic drone. It sits in the center so that DJI pilots can fly this with no problem. These are the blades that go on the helicopter. They come in the box. Now, one thing the company asked me to tell all viewers is that some people have already made videos putting the blades on wrong. If the black side is pointing up, that would be wrong. It must have the gray side pointing up. So that's the top of the blades there. It's pretty simple when you know that. So let's go put them on. This tool is included with your Huey, and it is basically a hex tool of all different sizes in metric and imperial. So it's perfect for taking this bolt out and putting the blades in and then tighten them. So to install the blade, just unscrew the bolt. Comes right out. There's a nut at the bottom. My finger is holding the nut. Take any blade, just make sure the gray side is pointing upwards. Stick it in the location and put the bolt through it into the nut. Then just tighten the bolt back into the nut and you're pretty much all set. Now you're probably wondering, how tight do I tighten this? Tighten it so that there's still a little bit of movement, but you have to move the blade. It doesn't just fall, like flop around. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm tightening it now. And I've got one in here, and there we go. So let me just show you. See how I can move it, but it won't fall if I just hold it like this. It won't fall into place. So that's how tight you should have it. All right, second screw is going in, and we're almost all set to fly. There we go. Get these so that they are not too loose and not too tight. Now, if you're wondering the length of the blades from this point to this point, that's 810 millimeters, and one blade is about 370 millimeters, I believe. This is powered by a 4S battery, so it has a 60 amp ESC, which is plenty for running 2 motors and everything it has to do. It's great. Now, when you order the Huey, you have the choice of getting a 3000 milliamp hour LiPo battery or a 5000 milliamp hour LiPo battery. Obviously, it costs more if you get the bigger battery. So the flight time with the 3000 is 18 minutes of flight time, and the larger one gives you 28 minutes of flight time. So you have a choice when you make your orders what size battery you want. For this flight, since it's going to be a short flight, I'm just going to use the 3000 milliamp hour LiPo battery, and that way, if I run out of power, this here heli will go into return to home and come back and land right where it took off from. So on your radio, before you go fly, take all your switches and put them up. Then you're going to want to power on the radio, press these 2 buttons together, and then let's push it on GPS now. There we go. We're all good to go. To get our battery in the helicopter, just push this little switch back here, pull it down, and lift up the canopy, and there we go. I'm gonna get these blades out of the way so you can see inside. I'll show you all the components inside. This is your XT60 plug to plug into the battery. That would be your ESC right here. This big item is your flight controller. This is your GPS. And over on this side, that's your receiver to talk to the radio. When you get this, there will be a bind plug in it. Pull the bind plug out. It's a little wiry thing. Pull it out, and then you're ready to go. If you leave the bind plug in, it thinks you want to bind it to the radio, but it's already bound to the radio at the factory. This is where your battery goes. Now, when you get your batteries, they have a little bit of fuzzy on one side, so you could put it on the fuzzy, on the Velcro, Velcro to Velcro, or just put it flat. I'm going to put mine flat. Next, just plug in your power, and this will all come to life. And one thing I want to show you is this little light over here. I'm going to move this camera over so you can see it. This light's very important. That light has to go yellow, and then it's going to go green. So what's happening is yellow means it's setting itself up, and green means it's going to be in GPS mode, like solid green, and it means it has the satellites when it's solid green. So still flashing yellow, but it will go to solid green any second. So here we have it, solid green, so we're ready to fly. Stick your canopy, plop it back on, and you're ready to go. There we go, lock everything in place. She's ready to fly. Over here you can see my silhouette, and that would be a DJI Mini 3 Pro that is about to take off and go on up. There we are, it's gonna capture the footage of the helicopter. Okay, so I have the DJI Mini up in the air now, heli's down here. All right, here we go. Down and out, count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit the run, and there we go. She'll spin up. All right. We're good, camera, Mini. Just take the left joystick, push it up a bit, and she'll go up in the air. Here we go. There we are, we're flying. Now you can let go of the joysticks, as I've done here. It really doesn't need any input from me at all. It just flies with GPS. It's a very good GPS, no compass calibration. So I'm gonna bring it down because I don't need it that high for this video. It's got altitude hold with the GPS, like a really good altitude hold. So let me go forward towards my Sony camera over there. All right, I just went around the side of it. It's like flying a drone. If you could fly a DJI Mavic drone, you can fly this, no problem. There we go. It's the same idea. It looks a little scary because it's so big and it's got those spinning blades of death, but no, it's very tame. So there we go. Now you're probably wondering, how fast can I get it going? Well, I'll take it up a little bit for that, maybe up to about here, and I'll put it out this way, over there. So I'm gonna go faster and faster and faster and faster. And there we go. Oh, that's full speed. Here, I'll go by full speed again. The Mini will capture it. It boogies. You may or may not see it on here. I'll show a close-up of it. You have a switch that says Home GPS 3D. Then right to the left of it, you have normal, O, and A. So I'm going to switch it into O now. There we go. It's going to fly a circle. And it flies it nose in. Whatever height you left it at, that's how it flies it. So that's the O going around. Watch out for Mr. Mini over there. I'll stop it before it gets to it. I'll put it back at normal now. So it stops before it hits Mr. Mini. Figure 8, here we go. Now it's gonna do an 8. So it'll go half circle, then reverse it to the other direction. Here, I can follow with my hat cam. Okay, it's gotta turn and go the other way. So there's the circle. Now you gotta go the other way. And there it goes. So it goes that way. I'm just walking here showing you. And it will keep on doing that around and around and around. You can go really low to the ground or way up in the sky to do that. So I'm gonna put it back on normal. So you've got home. This switch up here is home. Here, I'll get close to it. So when I hit this, it should go up in the air and go back to home. Okay, 1, 2, 3, home. I want it to return to home. That's as if it ran out of power or something went wrong. There it goes. The sun's in my eyes. I don't know if my hat cam can pick it up, but it's gonna come down. The only thing I'm gonna make sure it doesn't land on any of my cameras. Remember, home was that yellow square, so we'll see how close it gets to it. It's a very relaxed descent. So no panic whatsoever. Gives you lots of time to move things out from below and to, you know, if it's accidentally coming down in the wrong spot, you can cancel the return to home. So there we go. She's done. She'll power herself off. And that's it. I'm gonna fly this one more time, same battery. I have a lot of batteries for it, but I'm gonna fly it again with the same battery, and I'll fly it a little bit farther because a lot of people wanna see, what if you fly it farther? Problem is, my GoPro hat, the camera on it, won't see it when it goes far, so I'm gonna stick a little Insta360 on the bottom, so as it goes out of range, you get some footage from this. And like always, when I put Insta360 cameras, I just put double-sided tape. Okay, check my switches, normal mode, put this in GPS mode, over here, leave it in normal, and that should be on stop. There we go. Now we're ready to take off. So I have an Insta360 GO2 camera on the bottom. I'm going to pull these down, count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to flick this switch, and she starts up. And I'll stand back a little bit. Still the same battery, so we'll see how much power I have. Wait till it gets up to head speed. You can tell because the sound won't increase or decrease. That's good, and then we go up. There. So now the camera's pointing backwards, so you should see me. I don't know how much vibrations there is, but let's go forward. Let's take it out there. I do have my Mini up in the air over there. I'm gonna try to go under it. There we go. Coming back, high speed. Going on an angle and turning back to me, and going up. So now the camera's facing to the rear. Going sideways along the ground. That's the great thing with the heli. You can fly sideways if you wish. I don't want to get too close because depth perception, yeah, you know, I might lose it and then I might crash into the Mini. So let's go down here. So this time I'm just going to manually land it. I'll get it over the landing pad as close as I can. And I'll just hold the left joystick down slightly. It goes down. And then when it touches, hold it all the way down like this. Hit your little run thing. There we go. That kills the motor. And she will slow down and come to a stop. There we are. Next thing I want to show you is what you get in the box when you buy this beauty. So check this out. This is the box your Huey version 3 comes in. And inside the box, you'll see that everything is well packaged. Items in the box include an instruction manual with pretty color graphics, a toolkit, the batteries you selected when you ordered the Huey, a battery charger, a super long USB-C cable, blades for the Huey, a radio transmitter, with metal switches that are already identified as to what they do. Those switches or buttons that are not identified with any label serve no purpose. To power the radio, you will need to install 4 AA batteries, not included. And the last item would be your Huey, constructed of a fiberglass shell. Items such as the swash plate, the servo arms, the gears are constructed of a combination of metal and plastic. The main motor as well as the tail rotor motor are both brushless motors. The fiberglass canopy has windows constructed of plastic. Paint as well as graphics have already been pre-applied, however you can add as many graphics or paint or lights that you wish. So what are my final thoughts on this? Well, it's extremely reliable. They've come a long way since all the previous versions. So this one here flies better than all the other versions. It's way better for beginners. There's no more stress. It just works right out of the box and there's nothing to assemble and it looks nicer. Now, in part 2 of the video, this is part 1 you're watching right now. In part 2, I'm gonna have this compared to the previous version. So just in case you bought the previous version, you can see what's different. We'll do a comparison, Jedi Steve and I, and then we'll take it for a flight in manual mode, and I might fly 2 Hueys at the same time. But for right now, I say, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to find out more on this product or buy it, it is rather expensive because there's a lot of technology, fiberglass body, everything. So yeah, a lot of technology and everything else put into this so that it flies so well for a beginner, being the weight it is and everything else. And anyways, the links for that are below. Go check it out. It's on the RCGOING website. Check it out and see if this is the heli for you. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one in part 2. Until then, I say bye.